All right, hi, Faith Formation families. It's Miss Abdallah, and it is the second week of Advent already. So, of course, I have my Advent wreath here so that you can enjoy it with me. We are celebrating this week. We talked with the students that were in class this week about hope. That was our theme for the first week, of course. And now the second week of Advent, we reflect on God's love. And God's love is something we should all reflect on every day. But in a special way at Advent, we remember that God loved us so much that he sent Jesus to be our Savior and to set us free. And I don't think we can really fully ever appreciate that enough. But hopefully this week you'll have some time to get quiet and be able to reflect on that. It's worthy of our time for sure, especially when the Christmas craziness all around us doesn't afford much quiet and humble reflection on really the true meaning of the season. So my hope for all of you is that you'll have that time to do that. So happy second week of Advent. Moving into what we're doing this week in Faith Formation, I apologize first and foremost that I did not have videos the last 2 weeks. And that was just because I didn't have any editing abilities and some time constraints. I also want to apologize for a mix-up on last week's newsletter. The final edit of my newsletter did not get saved, and so consequently, the top portion of the newsletter for grades 6 and 7, 8 and 9 was correct. But down in the boxes for the classrooms, the final edit didn't get saved. And so it was a mishmash because I copy paste from the week before and then make adjustments. So that is my fault. I do apologize if anybody went to the church by accident on Sunday because that was not meant to happen. The top part was correct, that December 5th would be your night for a class, but it didn't match the bottom. So my apologies for that. I do try very hard for that not to happen, but sometimes if I don't click the save, it just reverts back to the last. So that was on me. So I apologize for that, and I hopefully will never do that to you again. And that's part of the joys of working with technology. So my apologies for that. We do, however, this week, everything is in there. It's correct. But let me run down where we're at for this week. First of all, on Saturday the 4th is our first reconciliation for our grade 2, well, not all of them are grade 2, but people that are in the first reconciliation program. Those students will be making their sacrament this week, and we're so happy and so proud of them. But the night before, Friday night, the 3rd, now those of you that got an email that are in the first reconciliation program, you already know this and you should already have this. But for those that did the remote learning and weren't able to make the camps for various reasons, that were registered, will have been doing makeup work at home, but I will be having that Zoom class Friday night to check in and touch base with people if they have any final questions before Saturday. All right. So if you're one of those people and you didn't make the camps and you've been doing the home study and you want to check in with me before the big days to make sure that the kids know what they're doing and they're all set, I will be available, and the links went out in an email to you. If you did not get those, please let me know, and we will try to make sure that you have what you need, okay? So Friday night we'll do that little bit to catch everybody up. The 4th, of course, is the big day. So on the 4th, if you are in First Reconciliation, you've already signed up one way or the other, whether you're going to St. Thomas More or Our Lady of Lourdes. So I have divided your certificates to be at those places. But if something happens, let's just say you wake up Saturday morning and you have a flat tire and you can't make it to the 9 a.m., but you could make it to the 11 at Lourdes, all right? Please go there. I mean, I'd rather have your child make the sacrament and then we'll figure out the certificate afterward. Don't let that stop you, okay? If you can't make either one, then connect with me and we'll figure that out too from there. But the service will be held at 9 o'clock at St. Thomas More and at 11. It takes about a half an hour, sometimes a little more depending on how many kids, but I have 2 priests at St. Thomas More and I have 3 at Lourdes because we have a larger group that said that they were going to be there. So But all in all, it takes about a half an hour to 45 minutes. And families, you are welcome to come and have your confession heard as well. In fact, we love that. So if you want to do it as a family, all are welcome, and we'd love that. So we will see you guys there. Now, on Sunday the 5th, we will have, as I said, grade 6 and 7, your classes from 6:30 to 8:30 that night. Moving forward, we're going to talk about this, but parents, just so you're aware, we're finding that 6:30 to 8:30 is just really a long time for our 6, 7, 8, and 9, grades 8 and 9. And we've talked about scaling it back to 6:30 to 8. But if we're going to do that, it will start in the new year. Okay, I want to give you enough time to prepare for that in case you have other things in your schedule. So just putting that out there, that will be coming in the new year, that we're probably going to scale that back. And really it's about right, because we used to have a half an hour in between to do snack and a relaxation time, but since we aren't eating in the church anymore till COVID is a little bit, God help us, we hope, if, as it clears. But for now, we're not doing those snacks in there. So it's not fair to make the kids sit for another half an hour if we're really not doing that. So it's not like they're losing instruction time is what the bottom line is. And it's a long night for them. So I think we're going to adjust that for the new year. But for this week, we will do still 6:30 to 8:30. But moving into January, we're going to curb that, okay? And that goes for grade 8 and 9 too. So they don't have class this week, but I will put that out there for the families to know that. All right. On the 6th is the Monday night class. And on the 7th is our Tuesday night class for K through 5. Okay, so Monday, K through 5, normal time, 6 to 7:15. Tuesday, also normal time, 6 to 7:15, and our remote learners as well. Okay. All right, and then that is it for this week. On Friday, I'll give the updates for the next weekend. I don't want to confuse everybody by moving into the next week. So that is it for that. Side notes, though, St. Nicholas will be at St. Anne's at the 9 o'clock Mass this weekend for Children's Liturgy of the Word on Sunday. And then he will do Children's Liturgy of the Word at Our Lady of Lourdes at the 10:30 Mass. He will not be coming to St. Thomas More. We had accidentally put that in the bulletin before I realized that it went in. I didn't catch it, but we had to change that plan. St. Nicholas was unable to fit that third one in for us, and that's quite all right. We'll just have to figure something else out for next year. But just to let you know, if you read it in the bulletin, that is not correct, and that's my fault for not catching that in time. So. So it's at St. Anne's and Our Lady of Lourdes, if you're interested in doing that. Students that go to Seton Elementary, who may or may not be watching this video, I'm not sure, they will have St. Nicholas on Monday. He is doing a presentation that day, but that is only for Seton students. But the ones at St. Anne's and Our Lady of Lourdes is open to anybody, so you don't have to be a registered parishioner of that church to take part in that. So all are welcome. The Christmas party will be on the 14th. So the following week, the 13th, we will not have any class for K through 5 on that Monday, and I've already been announcing that to parents. Tuesday night, though, the 14th, we will have the Christmas party. Now, we know current events. Things are a little iffy. And this could change. We're hoping not, but it could. What we're going to do on our end to make it the safest that we can, because we know that our students are also in all various levels of getting vaccinated or choosing not to get vaccinated, whatever the case may be. So the safest bet for what we're thinking is to not serve food that will be eaten at the party. I really struggled with this, and I've gone back and forth about it, but I really don't think taking off masks, even with socially distant, because there may be quite a few kids that come. I am putting out a separate sign-up form for the party that will be going out in an email to you on Friday as well. So if you're watching this on Friday, it'll be coming out later in the day. That sign-up is to so that I know the numbers. We can have at capacity 100 people in the church at a time. So I don't know that we'll get that many, but when you sign up, you're going to sign up every member of the family that's coming. So if it's mom, brother, sister, dad, list everybody that would be coming so that I know how many to plan for. What the party entails is similar to what I did with the Faith and Family Fun Nights in the summer, but it'll be indoors, obviously. So we have games related to our theme. The movie that is featured that night is called The Star. It's adorable. It's the telling of the nativity through the eyes of the animals, but it's a little more modern. I know some of the kids have already seen it and they love it, but we're going to have that movie playing in the main part of the church so that students can socially distance and watch it. But then there'll be games that support the lessons they're learning in the movie. They can feel free to play the games, do the arts and crafts. We will have treats and refreshments in like to-go bags. I know it's not the way I normally would do it. I would normally have pizza and goodies and not worry, but with COVID, we still have to be so careful. So we will have things like treats to go, but it won't be like a dinner format, okay? I apologize for that, except that I have no control over it. And I would really rather err on the side of doing something fun and safe that everybody can do than to start having to exclude people or say, oh, you can only come if you're vaccinated or all that, because that's not what we want to do, okay? We want it to be open to anybody that wants to be able to come, that feels comfortable to come. It's not a requirement. It's just for fun. So if you're really feeling that it's not safe, that you don't want to be there have your child there with a lot of kids, we respect that. You don't need to come. It's not required. But if you want just something safe, in our estimation, it's as safe as we can make it, to come and have a good time, then please feel free to do so. Sign up so that I know you're coming, so I can get an idea of who to expect and how many, okay? Phew. Another piece of good news, really good news. Answer to our prayers, we finally hired a faith formation helper, like a coordinator that's going to help me with the program, okay? And I'm really super excited. His name is Luke Nolan. He has a wonderful background in faith formation and is going to be a huge asset to our program, and I am more than thrilled. So please bear with us as we transition, but more help is an absolute godsend right now because that's what we've needed. So thank you for those of you who were praying. We really think this is going to be a really good direction for our faith formation program. So we'll have him. He'll be helping with a few of the nights, but I'll be sure to introduce him the nights that he's there. If you happen to bring your children in for faith formation and you see him, you'll be able to meet him and be sure to welcome him. It'll be great. So thank you for your patience with me as I've juggled all of the things thus far this year. Sometimes unsuccessfully and sometimes successfully, but hopefully we can run things a little more smoothly now. So there's that. The other thing that I want to mention is that coming up in a couple of weeks, probably the last week of December, we will be sending out some proposals for what we think faith formation could look like next year. What do we want it to look like? It is not a secret that we're struggling to find volunteers that are willing to come back to the church, that feel safe to teach, to work with kids, and vice versa. So we need to think about that as a reality for us. And maybe our program doesn't have to look the way it's always traditionally looked. So I've come up with a few ideas to say, okay, what if? What would help parents? What would help us? What would be the safest? Because I think it's pretty reasonable for us to think that COVID's not going away the way we thought, and we need to just be able to roll with whatever direction this goes. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And we may need to tweak it as we go, but I think that it's necessary for us to think ahead. So that will be coming out at the end of December when Everybody will be on break, but I will be doing a survey. So if you can kind of keep your eye on the newsletter, there will be a survey coming out to see what people think of these options and if you'd be willing to think about it, or if it's something that you're like, no way, not going to work for my family. We don't like that idea, whatever. But it's really to get some feedback so that I know which direction to start getting ready for. Okay. And I realize everybody's saying, wait a minute, it's December you're talking about, but it goes so fast. And it takes a really long time to change directions of a program. And so the more time we have, the better. So that will be coming out. I'm giving you that heads up just so you can also start thinking about for yourselves if the Holy Spirit's inspiring you for how this program could look different. As a parent that's juggling all of the demands of the current age, what's working? What would work better? Let's think on that. Let's collaboratively. I'm really open to those suggestions. Maybe Zoom wasn't such a bad thing. Do you want to keep those aspects? Maybe it didn't work for you. What else could we try? Different things that would maybe make the program bigger, better, different for everyone, not just because we don't have a lot of volunteers, but how can we make it more attractive for everybody? So those are just some thoughts that I'm going to put out there for you to think on and pray on this Advent season, because it really is very important that we work together to figure out how to grow, right? We want to grow in the Spirit. We don't want to wither. So that's that. That's all I need to really talk about this week. So thank you for your patience if you've lasted this long watching the video. And I hope that all of you have a great week, and we will see you soon. Take care. God bless.